Have you seen the astronomical rise of the domestic stock market? It looks attractive, right? I'm a professional VC investor, and I can tell you, I don't like this. I prefer long-term steady gain to short-term bursts of volatility. And I don't just look at investment that way, I look at my life in that way as well. Let me reintroduce myself. I come from a fifth-tier city with extremely limited resources, especially for English training. During middle school, my family sent me to Shenyang, Liaoning province to further my education. At first, I struggled, ranking near at the bottom of my class. I felt frustrated, depressed, almost feeling like the end of the world. My English teacher once said, it was truly a painful experience listening to me speak English. And my friends have an impression of me, saying I have fierce dedication, almost like seeking revenge on the world, just like Monkey King constantly seeking help from the Jade Emperor, never giving up until he reached his goals. During high school, I participate in the 22nd United Nations Climate Change Conference in Marrakesh, Morocco. And I give a 45-minute speech on carbon sequestration, which opens my eyes to global issues. During my study at Cambridge, I managed to impress a world-leading figure who is a Wall Street investment giant in just 1 minute. Now, I'm a VC investor in Silicon Valley, and my job is to find great companies and invest in them. So after becoming a VC investor, I started to reflect, can the logic I use to evaluate investment opportunities also be applied into making life decisions? Whether it is choosing a career path, finding internships, research opportunities, or even landing interviews from Fortune 500 companies. So all of that raises a key question. In this uncertain world, can we construct and create a long-term strategy to help us maximize the chance of success in every endeavor? And I call this life investment algorithm. It may sound abstract, but let me explain in economic theories, and I will make it simple. So life investment algorithm is law of large numbers plus Bayes' theorem plus the neural network. I will make it simple, I promise. So the first is law of large numbers. In a simple word, certainty comes from continuous effort or consistent effort. In venture capital, I evaluate projects, startups, especially early stage, every day. And each project is full of uncertainty. However, as the number of investment sample increase, the overall success rate will align much closely with the expected return of the firm. Earlier, I mentioned my 45-minute speech on carbon sequestration at the 22nd United Nations Climate Change Conference. Do you know how I got this opportunity? At first, when I had the idea, I asked the team leader, saying, can I give a speech at the conference? The leader looked at me, confused, and said, you know, it is already a miracle we even got admission tickets, right? That hurts, but I turned to another staff member, and I asked her, you know, I'm from China. I have done some research on carbon sequestration and global warming. Can I give a speech at one of the conferences? Even without thinking, she replied, of course not. Then, I turned to another staff member who looked friendly, nice, and I thought maybe he would agree. But to my surprise, he declined me in a polite way. Now, at this point, maybe all of you may think, well, there won't be any chance. There won't be any opportunity for a speech, so just give up. It's pretty much like you are asking your crush out in college, getting turned down for 3 times, and by the 4th time, it's not romantic anymore. It's starting to feel like a group project that nobody signed up for. And it is the universe's way of saying, please stop. But in the afternoon, I happened to sit next to a delegate from Morocco. And I started a very casual conversation with him. Why I talked to him is because I had a TOEFL exam next week, and I really wanted to practice my English. And I just complained about my failed attempts. But who would have thought that he immediately picked up his phone and called the event organizer? And 5 minutes later, the event organizer called me and invited me to give the speech at one of the conferences. And my speech was later described by the official media as an improvised speech on carbon sequestration by a Chinese 16 years old is happening right now. So that experience shows even after 3 failures in a row, I still choose persistence. I didn't give up. I fall, I stand up, I fall, I stand up. I was willing to return to that loop of failing and trying, failing and trying. And eventually, I got the opportunity to give the speech at the conference. And each failure before the 4th attempt made me aware of what I needed to improve. However, simple repetition sometimes isn't sufficient. For example, once I sent 47 emails to potential supervisors on a research project, and nobody replied to me. I got nothing. Every day I refreshed my inbox, hoping for a single reply, but I met with disappointment. So that shows, just by law of large number itself, isn't enough. And that's where we need Bayes' theorem. In a simple word, Bayes' theorem is that we need to adjust our strategies to improve success rates. In my daily work in venture capital, we initially set the probability of success for each project by looking at market data, industry data, market trend, early indicators, etc. And then we update our belief based on new information available to us. For example, due diligence. And then we look at the founding team, their expertise, the product development, etc. And especially the most important is the user's feedback. So in this process, this will help us make more informed decisions based on the new information available so as to maximize the success rate of our investment. Earlier this month, SpaceX completed successfully of its 5th test flight of Starship rockets. With the first 3 tests had various failures. The first one got exploited after takeoff, the second one lost contact, and the third one, despite reaching the Earth orbit, it still failed during re-entry. However, starting the 4th one, the rocket completed important improvements, and the 5th, which is earlier this month, have featured important upgrades. So Elon Musk's iterative approach, constantly adjusting and revising his strategies based on the previous tests, improved ultimate success. I have personally tested this theorem many times. For example, when I mentioned earlier, I sent 47 emails to potential supervisors, and I got nothing. So I changed my approach. I went straight to the office of an industry leader and said, I know you are busy. I only need 1 minute of your time. And in that 1 minute, I introduced myself. I talked about what I did in the past, what I want to do in the future, my short-term, long-term plans are, and what resources I need to achieve those goals. I know it was rude, especially in Western culture, seeing someone without appointments, but I had to make a change. Now, many of you might feel a bit nervous for me, but guess what happened in the end? The leader smiled and said, very good, I can mentor you. Let's find the time to chat in more details. And then he took out his phone and asked me to leave my name and email address. So that experience taught us persistence combined with strategic adjustment is the key to breakthrough. Finally, while continuing working hard and adjust your strategies, it is also important to leverage your resources, especially high-quality information network and high-quality resource network. This is something I called the root network. In my daily work, in venture capital, great projects are often not visible. They are not public. They are opaque, which requires access to high-quality information network and high-quality resource network so that you can find great projects to invest. My speech at the United Nations Climate Change Conference was made possible by utilizing both networks. And without persuading the Wall Street leader and without his strong recommendation, I would not have become a VC investor today. Now, many of you might thought, well, you talk about the neural network, but how do we construct it? Could you be more specific? So here are a few tips. The first step, and foremost, this is the most important thing, is you have to clarify your goals. You have to know your objectives, what you want to do. That's the most important thing. And the second step is be proactive. Reach out to industry leaders, industry experts, entrepreneurs, or even your professors at college. Just reach out, talk to them. Don't feel embarrassed. Don't be afraid. Even talking in a foreign language, for example, English. Because based on my past observation, it is usually the listener who feels more uncomfortable. And the third step is diversify your network. Reach out and know people from different industries, different fields, so that they will enrich your idea. They will help you improve your perception, because all of them are interdisciplinary. They will help you. And the fourth step is maintain your interaction. So how do we do that? For example, you can send updates to them, or even just a simple greeting to them to make your network active. This could take many forms, so don't just be restricted to a single form. Last but not least is provide value. Anything, even friendship, is not a one-way street. You have to provide value to others so that they will be more willing and they will have motivation to help you. And they will be willing to share information, resources to help you succeed. Finally, I want to say, in this uncertain world, each of us is an investor. We are constantly searching for opportunities that could add value to our future. And I believe the methods that work for everyone are not solely found in these principles. As former US President Abraham Lincoln once said, the best way to predict your future is to create it. Thank you.